Well, welcome to another week on Moving to Georgia. I'm Sarah Maslowski, your real estate agent serving the North Metro Atlanta area, and I am excited to be here with you today. I am going to share with you all information about affordable small towns. Home prices have just been a little bit out of control. Can we all agree to that? And when I say out of control, they're not getting back in control anytime soon. They are what they are, and they're going to continue to increase. And yet, we still need houses that are more affordable to serve people of all budget ranges. And the good news is, there are some great small towns outside of these Atlanta suburbs that you should definitely put on your list if you're wanting to be near these bigger suburbs, but you're needing a little bit more affordable towns. We help people all the time that call into us and we speak to that say, hey, I have a budget of $350,000, $400,000. I want to move here. And where would you recommend that we look? And obviously, we're going to help you find your house, find your home, no matter your budget. But today, we're going to dive in a little bit about where you can find these opportunities that may fit some smaller budgets, or maybe some towns where if you just don't want to be in the hustle and bustle of everything, but you still want to be close to all the great things that these suburbs have to offer, these are some areas that you should definitely put on your list. So if you are joining us, welcome to the live stream, and I would love to know where you're joining us from and where you're watching. So go ahead and put a comment in the chat. I'd love to say hello. I say this all the time, but it still blows my mind. We get people that watch from other countries, and that is so exciting that we are able to reach people in all corners of the world and help you move to Georgia. We recently helped a client. She closes on her house next week, all the way from England. That is just so cool that someone across the pond, that's what they say, right? Across the pond, reached out. Oh, we have someone watching just in my neck of the woods, just up the road, in Pendergrass. And Pendergrass is actually one of the areas that is a little bit more affordable. And yet I just did a search on that to see if we could talk about Pendergrass. Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot of houses listed for sale there right now, kind of like under 450. So that is definitely, though, an area to watch because I know that there's a lot of new construction development happening in Pendergrass. So thank you for joining us and watching us. It's just me. You're watching me. Yeah, thank you for watching me. If you have any questions about making the move to Georgia or any questions about the housing market, please go ahead and drop those questions in the comment section. I would love to pull those up and answer those directly for you as we're together right now on this live stream. So let's jump into it. If you've watched my channel, you know that I've talked about this town a lot, and that is the town of Monroe. It is one of my favorite towns to recommend, especially if you are looking for new construction. This is the town that you need to be looking in. And if you're looking, you need to reach out to me so that we can help you find the perfect community that's going to serve your needs and fit what you're looking for. But let's pull up. Okay, yep, here we are. So I am on Zillow, and we're just going to dive into it. We're going to talk about some of these really great houses and things that you can find in the town of Monroe. So where is Monroe, you might be asking? So obviously this outline is the town of Monroe. You were almost directly about 45 minutes, east of Atlanta. And if you'll see this, you are also really close to Athens. You're about a 30-minute drive to Athens, which is a fantastic town, college town, University of Georgia. And so if you need a Trader Joe's in your life, you're going to be a 30, 40-minute drive to a Trader Joe's that way. And then you can also drive about 40 minutes the other direction, and you can get a Trader Joe's that way as well. Monroe is also not that far away from Lawrenceville as well. So that is another town that is nearby. And Monroe is one of those towns that's really up and coming. You are going to see a lot of new construction development in Monroe. And the reason for this is because there's a lot of land there to be developed. And a lot of builders are saying, hey, here's some land we are going to build here. So a lot of the inventory that you're going to see on the market is going to be new construction houses. So here, look, you can get a ranch new construction home starting from $315. Now, this is a little bit of a misnomer, and I'll just warn you about this. Whenever you see from $315, just go ahead and budget a little bit more money on top of that, because the builders never really actually sell them at that from price. Usually that is the base price of whenever they started the houses in the neighborhood. But getting a brand new ranch house, 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, brick front, you've got a white kitchen, kind of your basic house, and yet this is a really good option. Look at these other floor plans that they're building out here, and you can see that this is going to be in kind of like the mid 300 price point. If you are open to a resale home, here is a great split level house. Here in Georgia, we have a lot of these split level houses, and they call them a split level because you can see that this is the front door. You can either go upstairs or you can go downstairs. You probably can't see my mouse. You can either go upstairs or you can go downstairs, and you kind of have 2 separate living areas without having to go up 2 full flight of stairs. So a split level home is a common floor plan that you'll see here in Georgia. And the good thing is that you kind of have a basement without really having a basement. You see that you have this ground floor level that walks right out, and this has a really nice flat backyard. So that is kind of like at the lower end of the price point at $315. And as we scroll through here, you're going to see nothing but new construction after new construction. Occasionally you'll find some resales. So if you're looking for a ranch floor plan, look at this gem. You've got brick front home, side entry garage, classic southern front porch. You've got a little bit of hardwood floors in there. Oh, okay. You don't see this often around here, but look at this guy. Clearly we have a hunter that lives here. That's not normal. Well, I don't know. In some parts of Georgia, that's normal. But typically in most of the houses that I show, that's not normal. You've got a wood burning fireplace, kitchen. As you can see, this home is pretty much in move-in condition. You've got a nice backyard there, patio area. That's really nice. So this is a really great representation of what you can get for $350, 3 bedrooms, 2 bath home right in Monroe. So Nancy asked the question, what warehouse stores are there in North Georgia, such as Costco, Sam's Club, and BJ's? You're going to find a lot of Sam's Club, more availability of those. So there's more Sam's than there are Costco. There are definitely Costco. And if you are looking to live like somewhere in Monroe, your nearest Costco, I think they have a Costco in Lawrenceville, or maybe it's Duluth. So you might be about a 45-minute drive from a Costco here. There's definitely a Costco in Buford, and there's definitely a Costco in Cumming, Georgia as well. That is a good question. Let's see. Do they have a Costco in Lawrenceville? They do not. So, but they do have a Sam's. Let's double check that. I'm checking it on a different tab. You probably can't see it. All right. So they do have a Sam's in Snellville. They definitely have one in Buford. You've got one in Gainesville. So definitely more Sam's than you have Costco. But if you lived here in Monroe, you were probably going to go to the Sam's Club in Snellville. But that is a really good question. And so if you have any more questions like that, please ask and answer those away. Ugh. Misha is watching us from living in Warner Robins, Georgia. He's a fantastic real estate agent that serves Warner Robins, and he said that they do not have Sam's, Costco, whatever, down in Warner Robins. That is kind of shocking. You would think that, so Warner Robins is a military-based town, and it is just south of Macon. I guess you'd have to drive to Macon. I'm not sure. Was that like a 45-minute drive? I grew up in Valdosta, and I remember before Valdosta got a Sam's Club, the biggest thing to do when I was growing up, and I thought it was such a treat, was to be able to drive. We would drive from Valdosta to Tallahassee, Florida. That's an hour, and it's kind of like back roads. And so we would drive to Tallahassee, Florida, and we would get to go to Sam's, and it was like a big outing for the day. And, those free samples, man, as a kid, even as an adult, those are the best, right? Can we all agree? And I remember getting the Nutter Butters in the package that you could, they sell the thing. They used to not sell those at the grocery store, and you could only get them at Sam's. Misha says, we do have one in Macon. Oh, I meant you don't have split levels homes. Okay. All right. With you. Okay. So some people don't like split level homes because, they're stairs, right? You either want like a 2-story or you want a ranch. But you often find split level homes kind of like in the lower price points of $300-$400 price points. Sometimes they're really nice, and sometimes they're kind of like your good basic starter house that you'll need. Oh, Nancy, what about IKEA? You're going to have to drive to Atlanta to go to IKEA, and it's magical, right? But we do have one in Atlanta, so you're only, 45 minutes to an hour away, depending upon where you're living and depending upon the traffic. That is going to serve all of your home buying needs. Gosh, you can just get lost for hours in an IKEA, or at least I can. Before we lived here, we came up to visit some friends that lived in Atlanta, and I wanted to go to IKEA because I'd never been to one. And we went, and I spent hours there. And my husband was like, Sarah, we can come back one day. I was like, no, this might be the only chance to go to an IKEA. But now, here we are, 8 years now. We've lived practically right next to one. So let's get back to looking at these great houses in Monroe. Obviously, you're going to see some 2-story resale options. Now, comparatively, when we look at resale versus new construction, typically you're going to find that you can get a little bit more square footage with a resale home than you are going to find in a new construction. But here you have a new construction home. It's giving you 2,200 square feet. They've priced that from the mid 300s. And again, you can get a brand new house. Another great thing about new construction homes right now, and we're seeing this with builders in Monroe, is that they are offering some pretty great incentives to help you with your home buying. So, for example, I just got an email the other day from a builder that is starting a brand new community in Monroe, and they are offering a fixed interest rate for 4.9% whenever you buy a new construction home for them in these communities that they're just releasing. And those homes are being started from the mid 400s. So when we go up a little bit in price point in Monroe, you're going to get these new construction homes, and you will actually find a lot of these new construction homes will have 3-car garages, which is really cool. This one doesn't have a 3-car garage. This is a really great community. It's called Joel's Landing in Monroe, and you have like these really nice big open floor plans. Look at that kitchen. Very pretty, right? You got subway tile backsplash. You've got painted cabinets, granite countertops. And that is just a really nice house. $385. Let me show y'all. There are 3-car options. We are going to find those in the 400 price point. Well, okay. You can go and find some of these, but they're out there. And a lot of these builders in Monroe are adding 3-car garages. Here we go. Look at this. From $430, you can get a 3-car garage. That's at the Fields at Alcovy. That is a really great builder, great neighborhood. And look at that pantry. That is a nice pantry, right? You can store all the snacks in there. You also got a really pretty kitchen with shiplap detail. You got that great subway tile backsplash, double ovens. So this one might be a little bit higher than that $350 price point, or $430 price point that they're advertising, but it's going to be pretty close to it. And you have the ability to get some really great incentives with builders right now. So you want to make sure that you take advantage of that, but you really need to make sure that you're working with a really great local agent like myself to help you navigate what is a good deal and what isn't, and to make sure that you are being really, really well represented. So I'm curious, of those that you are watching tonight, have you considered the town of Monroe, and maybe like what specifically are you looking for? And we can help you out and figure out exactly where you want to be. All right, our next affordable small town that you need to put on your list is the town of Winder. So I am going to pull that up and we'll talk about the town of Winder. All right. So Winder is another town that is in the outside of Lawrenceville. So I'm going to zoom out. So we were talking about Monroe, which is just kind of south, like due south of Winder. Let me see if I can zoom in if it'll pop up. There we go. Monroe's down here. This is the town of Winder. So you're probably driving like 15 minutes, 20 minutes away to the town of Winder. Again, you're about a 30-minute drive into Athens. You're about a 30-minute drive into Lawrenceville. You're not a bad commute from the interstate if you need to commute to the interstate quite a bit. I'll zoom out so you can see a little bit of where this is in relation to Atlanta. So you're in the northeast section of Atlanta. And so Winder, just like Monroe, is a little bit more developed. And it is an area that is growing quite a bit and seeing a little bit of a housing boom there as well, because there's still land there to develop and builders can go in and put new construction homes in there. But in Winder, you're going to find a really good option of a mixture of resale and new construction. So here's an example of a new construction home that you can find, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, ranch floor plan, 1,800 square feet. Ranch houses are really in demand, and it's cheaper for a builder to build a 2-story home versus a ranch style home because it's cheaper to build up than it is to build out. So typically in new construction, you're going to find more 2-story homes than you will ranch style homes. So that's just something to keep in mind. And if you're specifically looking for a ranch home and you want new construction, you're likely going to have to go a little bit outside, maybe the town of what you would ideally want, or pay a little bit more, because those are a little bit at a premium. Here is a 2-story new construction home. This one is 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, almost 2,000 square feet. You see that this home has a painted cabinets, backsplash there, which is nice. They also have wood cabinets as well. Got fireplace there. So one thing you'll want to note, we talked about this last week on the live stream. This house, oh, my eyes. I believe that's an electric stove. You're going to find that most all of your areas around here, yeah, definitely electric, are going to be electric and not gas. So it's a little bit harder to find gas communities, especially the more rural you go, the harder it is to find gas. So if that's something that's super important to you, we do have a way of searching just by gas, but that's something that you'll want to keep in mind. All right, so this is a town that's just outside Winder called Statham. And this is another like little small town that you might as well just say that you're living in Winder if you live in Statham. But there's a lot of new construction that is going on in this town as well. Again, you have a 3-bedroom, 2-bath ranch style home for $350. Really pretty. So you do get more options the further that you go out. Let's see if we can find what a resale home looks like. Okay, here's a resale home. Okay, they have their price cut. I still think this is really high, right? $350, $355, a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home for 1,200 square feet. You can go buy a new construction home for that price, right? So obviously they're a little bit overpriced here. This home's been nicely updated, but you are going to find you have the stamped ceiling, so you're not going to have that nice, smooth, flat ceiling. They've come in and they've painted the cabinets. But in my opinion, this is a little high in price, right? Because you can go get a new construction home for that same price, unless what you're looking for, great shower, unless what you're looking for is more land and more space. So here you have a nice wooded backyard. You've got a nice deck out there. You've got much more yard space than what you're going to find in new construction. So if yard space is important to you, here you have a really great option for a resale home that's going to give you that. Whereas a new construction, you're going to be much closer to your neighbors. And so if that's something that you don't want, then this is definitely not going to be for you. Let's see. Yeah, you've got 0.63 acres. So over half of an acre. And in comparison, your new construction homes are likely going to be between 1/4 of an acre to a third of an acre. So don't forget, if you have any questions or comments or anything, please go ahead and let me know. In the comments, we'll make sure that we answer that. Let's go back and see, okay, if you had a little bit more money to spend and you wanted to spend, maybe up towards 400,000, what is that going to get you in Winder? Well, it's going to get you more new construction options, a little bit larger of a home, 2,200 square feet, brand new construction. But you see how these houses are going to be closer to your neighbor, but you've got a covered patio. It's a really pretty house. That's not a blue dishwasher. It's just the plastic that's on the dishwasher. But yeah, you've got some nicer options, new construction as well. Again, you're seeing a theme here, right? A lot of new construction homes. You do have resale houses that you'll find, and you'll have a lot of new construction. This is a house. I actually showed this home to a client that found me just like y'all are. And we went and looked at this house, and, it had a lot of great features for the home, and yet it needed a little bit of work, right? So this carpet likely could use some replacing. It's the original builder grade carpet. And this is something that if you're about to be a seller and you have to sell your house, this is something that buyers are weighing. Do I get new construction or do I get resale? And with resale, I'm going to have to do some cosmetic updating, but I need to be getting something more from a resale home than what I can get from a new construction. Obviously, this home, the advantage is that it has a really big backyard, and you have a little bit more space from your neighbors. So that is something to keep in mind if you're considering buying a resale home, that you'll want to keep in mind. So if you're just joining us on the live stream, welcome. We're talking about affordable small towns here in Georgia. And so if you're just joining us, please tell us where you're watching from in the chat. And if you have questions about making a move, or you have any questions about the real estate market, please let me know, and we will get those answered for you right here. All right, another small town that you need to consider is my hometown of Gainesville, which is where I live. And you might be thinking, well, Sarah, that's not really that much of a small town. And it's not, but it's not big, not huge. And you still have a lot of affordability here in Gainesville. We have a ton of videos on the channel about Gainesville itself. And I am going to, that's not Gainesville. Let's get Gainesville up there for you. And I want to show you a little bit of the types of houses that you can find in Gainesville for that price point. All right, let's pull it up. Okay, so here we have the town of Gainesville, and I'm sure if you're watching, you know where Gainesville is. We are almost exactly an hour north on the interstate, and that is where Gainesville is. So again, it's going to take you about an hour to get into Atlanta. You're about 45 minutes away from Athens. You've got Cumming down here, which is about a 30-minute drive away. And one of the really cool parts is that you get a chance to see kind of like the North Georgia mountains occasionally, depending upon where you're at in Gainesville, which is always a nice surprise. All right, so let's take a look. What will affordable home prices get you in Gainesville? Here's another great example of a split level house. This one is 3 bedrooms, 2 bath home. You can see they have taken good care of it, and they've done a little bit of renovation in the bathroom here. It looks like that's a new vanity there. This is kind of like the basement area of the house. You can see that this is the lower level, which is a lot of good things of people why they like split levels, is because you get like that basement feel without truly it being a basement. And you get a really private backyard as well. So that's what $315 will get you. Here is a resale ranch for $325. This is another home. Got hardwood floors in there, an updated kitchen. I think this house, I've seen this before. Oh, that master bath needs a little bit of updating. I'm sure we would agree with that. And this house does have a really good backyard. I've seen this with a client, or we were considering going and checking out this house. Look at that. That needs some updating too. So some things have been done in this house, and yet it still needs a little bit of work. But you do have a nice big backyard there. That is what $325 will get you. Here is another great ranch house for $335. That's going to get you almost an acre. You have a carport there. You're really close to Lake Lanier in this house. And look, they've tastefully updated this home, made it essentially move-in ready for you. So that's really nice. It's a nice house there. And you've got granite countertops. Looks like new cabinets, or at least new cabinet doors. They've updated the bathrooms. It's a really pretty house. Giving you a lot of good space. They've updated the master bathroom. So that is very nice. So that's what $335 will get you. If we go a little bit up in price point in Gainesville, you'll see that there's a lot more resale homes here. There's not as much new construction in Gainesville, especially like in this $300 to $400 price point. You will find a little bit more new construction whenever you get closer to that $400 price point. Now, if townhomes are your thing, you can find townhomes for sale practically anywhere, because they are putting these townhomes in just about every place they can. You'll see townhome communities popping up. The good thing is that you're able to get a new construction home for a relatively affordable price point. You don't have to worry about taking care of a yard, but your home is attached to another person. So that's something to keep in mind. Let's see here. So you have, again, you're going to find some more new construction townhomes for sale, more resale. Here is a new construction home. Is it new construction? It's a little bit odd cabinet color choice. Wouldn't you agree? That's feeling very orange. I'm sure it doesn't look that orange in person. But this one was built in 2021. So not new construction, but definitely newer built. Let's see here. Rosemary is watching from Los Angeles. Very interested in moving to a small town away from Atlanta. Price range under $300. Yes. So you are going to find some options under $300, and that's going to be a little bit harder to find. So let's take a look. So if I were going to be looking for under $300,000, I would kind of go back to the Monroe area, what we were talking about earlier. Monroe or Winder is likely going to be where you're going to find the most amount of under 300 houses. So let's see. Let me go back to Monroe and put a maximum price point of 300, and let's see what we can find in Monroe. All right, I'm going to share my screen. Let's see what we can find for under 300. Okay, so we are able to find a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 1,300 square foot home. I think, Rosemary, you were asking for a 5-bedroom house. This is definitely not going to get you close to having those 5 bedrooms. And that is all in Monroe. Let me remove this boundary and see if there's anything else that pops up. We don't want lots. We want an actual house. And so it's looking like most of your options under 300 are going to be these ranch style homes that are 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom homes. So the good news is that if that's what you're looking for, you're going to be able to find some options. And if you need 5 bedrooms, that's going to be really hard. So let's see if we can find something with 4 bedrooms. And I'm going to zoom out. All right. So it looks like the areas that is going to be best for you to help look is kind of like in the south part of Atlanta. That's where you're going to have more options to find than you will in the northern part of Atlanta. So definitely reach out to me and we can help connect you with a really great agent partner that serves that area to help you find exactly what you're looking for. Great question. All right, so we talked about Gainesville, and I know that we get a lot of questions about Cumming, Georgia, and it is a very popular place, not only because you have really great schools there, it's really great location in proximity to Alpharetta, and yet you, I would not really consider Cumming to be very affordable, but it depends on what you're looking for, and it depends on what you want in your house. So let's take a look at what Cumming, Georgia will get you. All right, so I have this from 300 to 500. Let's adjust this down to 400,000. Just want to show you that there's not a whole lot of inventory between 300 to 400,000. In fact, if I change this, let's say to just houses, I'm going to take off mobile homes. We'll leave townhomes on there. Oh, there's 23 results right now incoming. If we remove this boundary and go a little bit, okay, so this gives you a little bit more options, but now we're starting to pull kind of like flowery branch in. So let's go back to just kind of Cumming area. So this is what between 300 and 400 gets you in Cumming. Again, you're not going to have that many options if it's super important for you to be in Cumming. Here's a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom home for 1,300 square feet. This is built in 2000. This gives you an idea of what this home looks like. Kind of has a funky backyard. I would agree. That's a little strange. Let's see here. Here is a house. It's not the best picture of the front. Oh, your front door's on the side. That's a little interesting. 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, 1,600 square feet. So that is right at 350. Let's see what our options are if we go a little bit higher in price. Here's a new construction home. And this is kind of like a basic house. Get all your basic features that you would want. You have an unfinished basement here. One thing I noticed, look at this backyard. You're going to have a very steep backyard. So this could be a turnoff for a lot of potential buyers. And okay, here is a 5-bedroom house for $375. Let's take a look at this. Okay. So someone's made a choice here with their paint colors, and they've painted that blue. Doesn't look bad though, but some people would probably want to change that. And they also painted their cabinets blue. Somebody might want to change that. But overall, this is one of those houses that, let's see, I'm kind of curious to see why it's still on the market for $375, because this is a really good price for a house. I would venture to say that this home doesn't have the best pictures. You know, it doesn't have professional photography. And yet this homes are really decent. You have a basement. Okay. That's really funky in the basement. Okay. Storage. Kind of like unfinished basement parts. What's going on with that deck? Looks like they replaced some rotten boards, but they didn't paint it. And you have a little bit of a backyard there. So, you know, this house has some potential. So if you're able to kind of overlook some of these things, this might end up being like a good option for you. And this is where you can find some deals per se. If you have the ability to kind of overlook some of these things that other people may look at and be like, "Ooh, I don't want that house. Look at the stairs. They're blue." But if you can say, "Hey, all that needs is a little bit of paint and time, and for a couple $100, I can make that look a lot better," you know, that is definitely an opportunity for you. Yeah, Mary said on that previous house, that was too steep of a backyard. Definitely agree. That, you know, I guess it's good if you don't ever want to do yard work and you don't have kids or dogs, but yeah, definitely too steep. Okay, so here we are. Sorry, trying to get back on track. All right, so that is what $375 will get you, which I think is not bad. Relatively in price for Cumming. This is a house listed for $390, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2,000 square feet. move-in ready-ish, right? Yeah, we would say this is kind of move-in ready. They've got this staged nicely. It's photographed well. You've got a nice little deck and a backyard. Y'all might be able to hear my puppy in the background squeaking his toy. We are so close from being done with our renovation. So a few more weeks and y'all won't have to hear my dog in the background anymore during our live streams. So that is what almost 400,000 will get you incoming. And one thing you'll notice comparatively to the other towns that we were talking about, Monroe and Winder, Gainesville, you are seeing much fewer options, and definitely there is not any new construction in between 300 and 400. Whereas in Winder and Monroe, you had a ton of new construction options in that price point. So if this is your price point that you're looking at and you want new construction, you're not going to find it in this area. In fact, let's see. I think there is an option just for new construction, right? So let's just say that we wanted a new construction home. I'm going to change this to 2023. Okay, yeah. You have some homes that start in the 400s, but I tell you, those are not starting in the 400s. Let's just zoom out to see where we could find that. Okay, see this big old gap here, y'all? This is because these towns have been built. They are done building. They can't. The land is so at a premium in these areas here that if they want to build, it's going to be very expensive. The land's going to be expensive and the homes are going to be expensive. So if new construction is what you want and you're looking in between 300 and 400, as you zoom out, you can see the further away that you get from this interior pocket of Atlanta, the more options that you are going to find. So it's just something that you have to keep in mind whenever you are looking. You're going to have to be a little bit flexible with what you are looking for. So Andrea asked, what about Dawsonville? Well, yeah, let's check it out. Let's check out Dawsonville. So Dawsonville has become more popular because Cumming has gotten more popular because Alpharetta has become a really hot spot. And so people have just kind of kept navigating north to Dawsonville. And so a couple of years ago, you could find more options in Dawsonville. And Dawsonville itself was a little less populated and a little less developed. And so you can see here, let me take off that new construction because we don't need that anymore. Okay. I don't have new construction on here. So we're looking between 200 and 300,000 for at least a 3-bedroom home. And you can get what is this? Brown Haven Homes RT. Okay. I hate when they do this. This is really just a builder selling their design plans where you have to have the land to build it on. So it's deceiving. You cannot get a house from 200 to 300,000 and go actually out and build these things on your own land for that price. That's crazy talk. Let's zoom out a little bit, remove the boundary. Let's increase the price point. Let's see if we went up to 400,000. Can we get a house in Dawsonville? Okay. It's going to be all of these builder homes. That's not true. It's a lie. Okay, here's a resale house in Dawsonville. 330,000, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, 1,300 square feet, 1,356. Okay, so this is nice. They've added some virtual staging here to help you understand what the home would look like. You've got all your bedrooms upstairs, it looks like. They've painted the cabinets and added some subway tile. You've got new appliances. This is a really decent house. You've got a little backyard, small picket fence, patio grilling area back there, nice garage. And that is what $330,000 will get you in Dawsonville. And so as you can see, if you go up a little bit in price point, he has some other options. Here is a 2-story home, 3-bedroom, 3-bath, almost at 1,600 square feet. They have done a great job staging this house. Got wood burning fireplace, kitchen there. Looks like the primary bedroom, double sinks, granite countertops. Cute little nursery. Let's see how the backyard is on this. All right, so they got a covered awning, but it's not really part of the house, but I'm sure that would stay. All right, so you've got a decent fenced-in backyard here. A little bit of usable space there. Oh, this house has solar panels. Do y'all see that? So they have solar panels up here. Now, this is something you don't see that often in homes here. We don't have a lot of homes with solar panels. I think it's because our electricity isn't that crazy expensive. Most all the times when I'm talking to clients from out of state that are moving here, they feel like our electricity is a lot more affordable than what they're currently used to. So that might be a reason why we don't see that many solar panel homes. Andre says, I see a lot of growth towards north and east metro Atlanta area, but do you see any growth to Lawrenceville or on the south of Lawrenceville areas? I'm trying to see where to buy an investment house. I see a lot of growth to the east of Lawrenceville, to Grayson and Loganville and Monroe. That is where pretty much all of the new construction development is going for houses. There's a lot of retail stores and restaurants going in there that's really kind of building up that area. So that is definitely an area that I would check out if I were you. With my help, we would love to help you buy an investment home there. A lot of great options for new construction homes in that area as well. So that is the discussion on where you can find kind of like some more affordable houses in the North Metro Atlanta area. That is definitely some areas that you are going to want to check out if you're looking for more affordable homes. And if you have any final questions about moving to Georgia, buying a house, anything about the market, please go ahead and put those in the comments and I will make sure to answer those questions. Now, one thing that has been a little bit precarious in the market over the past week and a half, 2 weeks is interest rates. We were on kind of like a downward trajectory, and yet interest rates have kind of started creeping back up a little bit as well. And so the good news is that it hasn't like drastically changed. So you're not having that much of an impact on your monthly payments, but you definitely are. So you definitely have a great opportunity right now with new construction homes to negotiate seller paid closing cost to buy down your interest rate. And I will share that we recently helped a client negotiate a fantastic deal on a resale house in Flowery Branch. We were able to get $17,000 in seller paid closing costs, and my buyer was able to use that to buy down the interest rate. And so they ended up saving over $250 a month every single month permanently on their mortgage because they were really smart, and we connected them with a really fantastic lender on how to utilize that money to the best of their ability. So rather than reduce the price of the house by $17,000, we were able to say, hey, no, let's take that $17,000 that the seller's willing to give up and let's apply that to a permanent rate buy down and save you $250 a month versus like that would have saved them maybe $30 a month, reducing the price of the house. So you definitely want to make sure that you're being very, very smart whenever you're negotiating contracts out there right now and prices to make sure that you're getting the very, very best deal. If you're thinking about making a move to the North Metro Atlanta area, make sure that you reach out to me. My contact information is directly below this video. Rosemary, I have a fantastic real estate agent partner in Columbus that I can connect you with. So you can reach out to me at my contact information below this video, and I will connect you with them. I want to make sure that you're in really, really great hands. But anywhere in Georgia, we can connect you with a fantastic agent that we have that works that area so that you're being served really, really well. And of course, if you're looking to the Metro Atlanta area, I'm your agent and I would love to help you find your next house. And so again, you can reach out to me with my contact information below this video. We put out new videos every single Sunday. So make sure you've liked and subscribed to the channel to make sure that you get updates on when those videos go out. And of course, we will be here every single Wednesday for the most part, answering your questions and giving you information about moving to Georgia. So I will see all of you beautiful people next Wednesday right here on the live stream.